Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. In this topic, let's continue our discussion about the preparation on our certified professional Revit architecture examination. Okay, so still this topic is under documentation. So, on our last exercise, we have discussed there on how to create field region and modify it. All right, so this time, let us discuss about adding some details in our detail view. Okay, so this is one of the question that always comes out in the examination. This is on how you add detail elements and also repeating detail elements or component. Okay, so that is what I'm going to show you. This is a very simple exercise just to give you an idea on how to add some details on your construction drawing. Okay, so let me just open this exercise file. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is, okay, so as you can see, we are at the ground floor of this exercise file. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just to show you, there's actually a section here. The section here is named wall section at grid 1. So this is actually that section. So I'm gonna open this section. Okay, so this is the section. And let's say, for example, this is the portion of my drawing where I want to create some details or I want to add some more details. That's why what I did is I just create a call out. So this is actually a call out. Call out, if you still remember, I have a topic of this. So all you have to do is to go to the view tab and then you can add their call out. Okay, and then you just box the portion that you want to separate and you want to add some details to it. Okay, so after creating the call out here, so let me just move my pointer to highlight it and for us to see the name. So the name is Parapet Roof. So as you can see here at the lower left corner, if I'm going to hover my pointer, as you can see, the name there is Parapet Roof. So this is actually the one. Okay, or if you want to open directly from the call out view, you just need to click the call out, right click, and then you just need to select their go to view. So I want to create a detailed view of that portion. So I select this one, and that is actually your parapet roof. So I just rename it to parapet roof. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to click here the boundary. So I'm going to adjust that, adjust more. Okay, okay, something like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hide this portion here, this exterior brick and block on metal stud. So for me to do that, so what I'm gonna do is from the properties, I'm going to select here far clip offset, this one. So instead of 8,000, so I'm going to change this just a small value, let's say 1,000. So what happens if I select here apply, so it will hide that particular element. Okay, because the range before is 8,000, so all the elements within the 8,000 range, it will be shown here. So I just made it 1,000 just for me to hide that particular portion. So I want to add details on this view. Okay, so how to add details? Details, it's just actually a 2D drawing. So how to create 2D drawing in Revit? So all you have to do is to go to Annotate tab, and then as you can see here from the panel, just like your field region last time, you can also see here your detail component, which is what we are going to use. So we are going to use detail component and repeating detail component. Okay. So this is only a 2D drawing. Okay. And as you can see, the definition is it adds a view specific detail component to a view. When you say view specific element, so meaning to say, if you create the element here in this view, you will only see that particular component in this view. So you will not be able to see that in other view. So that's how view specific elements means. Okay, so let me just add some detail component here. So I'm going to select detail component. And then as you can see from my type selector here, I already have detail components that is loaded here. But in case you want to explore the detailed components of your project or of your Revit, so all you have to do is you just need to go to load family, and then you look for, let's say in my part, data D. Okay, so it's here, the Autodesk. I always save it on the Revit content, libraries, and US metric. So this is the detail items. So this is what I'm talking about. So all of your 2D detail items is saved here. So let's say you want to check out the general here. So you can see there's a break line. It's just a 2D. So let's say you want to go to mechanical to see all the detailing that is available. Okay, so as you can see, this is just a 2D drawing. If you want to create detail of this one, so all you have to do is to insert these elements. So let's say I go to electrical. So you just move the slider and then look for electrical, lighting. Okay, so these are the default detail items that is already installed in your Revit once you install the Revit itself. Okay, so you just need to select from here. So you just need to explore this. I don't have time to explore all of this. So what I did is I just loaded here the detail items that I needed for this exercise. Okay, so for this one, so let me just add some details here, not the break line. So I'm going to select mortar joint. So I select the mortar joint here. I click that one, and I'm going to add detail here. So I'm going to pick, and then after that, I'm going to select here, modify. Now I want to create multiple mortar joint here below. Let me just turn on the thin line. Turn off the thin line so I can see the thickness. So I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to select here, copy, copy, and then I'm going to copy it multiple times. I'm going to constrain that. Okay, so this is my base point here. So I want to copy that 75, 75, 75, 75, 75. Okay, that's it. So another way to copy your elements aside from copy tool, you can also use the array. So select the object that you want, and then you can select their array. I select that. I'm going to use this option here, linear, and then group and associate, and then the total number, it's up to you. Let's say I want 4, and then move to second. So I'm going to pick here, and then I'll just type the distance 75, and then enter. That's it. See? And then I just select here, modify. There you go. Now, another way to add details to your view aside from detail component is you can also use repeating detail component. This is just actually an array of detail component. So I'm going to select again the detail component, or I'm going to select this time the repeating detail component. And then from the type selector, I already prepared one repeating detail here. I select the mortar joint. Actually, this is also a repeating detail of my mortar joint a while ago. So I just created. So if I select this one, if I check the type here, as you can see, so what you can do is you can duplicate first your repeating detail, which is I already did, and then change the name to mortar joint. Then after that, you just need to select here what is that particular detail that you want to load. So if you click the drop down arrow, you can see here all your detail components. So I want a repeating detail component of mortar joint. That's why I selected mortar joint there with a fixed distance inside, and then the spacing is 75. Okay, I just selected here none. So what it looks like is I select here okay. So I'm going to pick here as my base point, and then I'm going to move my pointer. As you can see, I'll be able to create an array of mortar joint. So that is your repeating detail component. So I'm going to place it here. There you go. And then I select modify. Okay. So this one is detail component. The other one is repeating detail component. Okay, it shows on your examination. Definitely it will show. So let me just add some few more details here. So let's say I go back again to annotate component. So this time I select detail component. So let us finish putting some details on our view. So detail component, I click the type selector and then I select this one, can't strip. I select that one, 75 by 75, and then I'm going to place it here. There you go. And then I select modify. So another way of adding details to your view, aside from component, aside from field region, is you can actually add detail line. It is also a view specific element. So I'm going to select detail line, and then let me just turn on the thin lines because it's too thick. So I'm going to turn on the thin lines to turn off it. Okay. So detail line. Okay. For the offset, so let's say I add an offset of 20. Enter. And then I'm going to pick here. I pick. There you go. Then I'm going to pick here. And then I'm going to pick all the way here. Make sure chain there is checked. Going to pick here, somewhere here. There you go. And then modify. Okay. And then after that, I'm just going to click this and stretch. There you go. So that's the detail. And let me just finish this detailing by adding break line from the detail component. So I select here, break line, this one. Okay, let me add it here. Okay, you can actually flip that. So I select modify here to cancel my command. So I'm going to select my break line, and then I'm going to click this to flip to the other side. There you go. Okay, and then you can adjust this. There you go. Right. So I select again detail component. This is the break line. Okay, if you want to rotate your break line, before you pick, you can press space bar. As you can see, every time you press space bar, it changed the rotation. So I'm going to place it here. There you go. Then modify. I select again the break line. I flip that to the other side. There you go. Okay. So this is now my detail. I just added details to my call out view. So let me just hide my crop region. There you go. Okay. So basically, that's how you use your detail component, repeating detail component, and detail line. So that's how you add details to your elements. Okay. So that's it for this preparation using component and repeating detail component and detail component. So hopefully you learned something from this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, just put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Or you can reach me using chat sauce. Thank you very much and have a nice day.